Hi guys, I'm starting with an ottoman that I've had for several years that I purchased from IKEA. I started out by spraying the legs gold, and now what I'm going to do is trace the ottoman onto the foam so I can cut it out and make a little cush for the tush. Okay, and now I'm going to cut out the circle. Okay, here I've placed the foam on top of the ottoman. I chose not to use batting. The material is so thick I don't need it. Now, it is quite difficult to try to cover a circle. Covering a square or a rectangle would be much easier. As you will see here, I struggled to put this thing together. I would not recommend it for the amateur. Also, I discovered that when working with this type of fabric, the best thing to do is wash it first. That reduced the shedding, but I learned the hard way. Here I'm trying to fit it around the ottoman. It's a bit confusing. Here I'm trying to straighten it out and figure in what direction I want to go. Okay, so I decided I'm just going to start with one corner and just go with it. I'm plugging. I have an electric staple gun, and which is going to make it a lot easier than using a manual. Less pain on your hands. Okay, here I'm starting by wrapping the first corner and stapling it. And of course I'm going to have to work my way around the perimeter. As you can see, this is where the difficulty comes in because it's round. Excuse me. And with this particular ottoman, this is the IKEA ottoman, it's a little difficult because you have to staple into the wood here. Okay, I managed to get those two pieces done. But as you could see, the leg, around the leg, okay, here, I decided I'm just going to try and just do each section and then work with the, with all that later, with all the folding and all that later. Main thing, I want to get it all around the perimeter, then I'll have to cut and paste. Another little ottoman that you'll see later on in this video that I'm going to cover. It's square. It's not even an ottoman. It was some wrought iron legs that I've had for years and a square piece of pine wood that I had, and I'm going to make an ottoman with it. Which will be a whole lot easier to do than this. Okay, finally I was able to get it completed. Okay, here's the finished ottoman. I tell you, it wasn't easy. I decided to take a spray water bottle and spray the fur down because it was a mess, shedding everywhere. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. Okay, here I had this little old DIY project that I decided I'm going to make this the footstool to put under my desk. So I start by unscrewing these legs, and I'm going to take them out back and spray them gold. Okay, I have one more leg to remove. Now I'm taking the piece of foam. It's square. I'm losing my voice. It's square, but the wood is a rectangle. I'm just measuring out everything right now to see if everything fits. The material that I'm using now is leftover from the other ottoman, and this time I did wash that material. Believe me, it makes a difference. Okay, here I'm going to use some of the batting that I have. You don't have to use that, but I had some on hand and I decided to use it for this particular project. Okay, here I'm using some batting that I had left over, and I'm trying to wrap it around the foam and around the wood. Just a little extra cushioning support for the footstool. I'm trying to pull the edges tight around the wood, and I'm using the spray adhesive to help it stick to the wood. And use staples if necessary. And now I'm going to wrap the faux fur around it and staple that. Now I am trimming off the excess fabric. Here I could have trimmed around it some more, but I decided to just leave it alone. Working with this thick faux fur fabric is very tedious. Now that seam that I'm showing you here is because I had to take the two extra pieces and sew them together, because it was extra from the other ottoman, and there were pieces and I had to piece it together to get a piece to go around this piece of board, if that makes sense. Now here I have an extra piece of fabric that was on another ottoman, at the bottom of another ottoman, and normally this is what they use at the bottom of furniture or whatever. I found a piece, so I'm going to cut it and shape it and staple it onto this piece of material. I'm cutting out a nice triangle to cover it. As you can see, I'm trying to measure it out, and what I will end up doing is folding the corners and stapling them. Okay, I'm cutting along here cutting away any extra excess fabric that I don't need. Okay, I start by stapling down the first corner. By the way, my electric stapler died, so I had to pull out my old standby. But you see what I'm doing here? I'm folding the corners just to get enough to kind of cover the edges of that faux fabric. Now that I have done the other sides, now I'm going to work on folding these corners. Now I could cut off a little extra fabric, but I won't. And okay, as you can see here, I folded in as if I was folding an envelope. Not to do the other corner again because that staple didn't go. I didn't put enough pressure down. Anyway, I'm going to tidy that up and show you the finished product.